Hey everybody, my name's Chris. This is actually the first day I was able to get out of the house and actually completely shower and dress, so I'm not in pajamas or in bed for a change. Can't really move because I have a wraparound plastic brace covering my back, but anyways, just wanted to kind of go over a few things. If you're ever in an accident, some of the mistakes that I made that, I mean, I was pretty messed up, so I wasn't thinking clearly anyways, but maybe you won't do the same thing if you are. You know, it doesn't take much to put your body through quite a bit of trauma. You know, being a trained therapist, I even knew better on a lot of things, but you know, there again, when you're in shock, you know, you can't really make necessarily very good decision for yourself. So, you know, if you ever are in an accident, it doesn't even have to be a major one. You know, you would be surprised on what kind of damage, you know, even a 10 or 15 mile an hour collision can do to your body. You know, regardless, when you're in any type of accident, if you know anything about kinetic energy, your body, you know, stays stable, but when you think about everything in your body, that movement goes straight through your body, and your brain can be jumbled, all your muscles, ligaments, tendons, you know, anything can be damaged, ripped, torn, whatever, you know, and sometimes what doesn't seem like a major accident, you might not be in very much pain the first day or two, but when you get to the third and fourth days, that's generally the worst days of how you feel after an accident. I know firsthand, you know, and it just got worse every day after, and not a fun situation. So one of the biggest things, if you are in an accident, go ahead and go to the hospital, be evaluated. I was, unfortunately, was immediately released. But for me, I went to just a little private ER, which I probably should have went to the main hospital, but I didn't go in an ambulance. That was my mistake. But the hospital had a 6-hour wait. So if I had called the ambulance, so I would have immediately been admitted in ER. Anyways, but this is probably going to be a lengthy vid, but I apologize. But biggest thing, you know, be evaluated as quickly as possible. You know your body better, your doctors. If you have a doctor that's telling you there's nothing wrong and you're still in pain, find a new doctor. Don't be afraid to get a second opinion. X-rays, they don't show everything. They're not a tell-all. Basically, they're great for checking to see if you have broken bones. Outside of that, immediately after an accident, with all the inflammation, sometimes it can take up to 2 weeks to even show any hairline fractures or anything like that. So, you know, you might have to have additional x-rays or additional tests 2 weeks or so after your accident initial evaluation. Also, the other thing that you want to consider is, you know, doing MRIs. Different types of accidents cause different types of injuries. You know, like if you're broadsided or T-boned, you're more likely to have a low back injury versus if you're in a front to rear collision, you're more likely to have head and neck injury. And then, of course, with the shoulder, you know, you have the seatbelt strapped across your left shoulder, and that can either injure the shoulder that's locked in place or can pull everything on the opposite side because that's your free shoulder that's going to move. Another thing, when you are in an accident, one of the worst things that you can do is completely brace yourself, because even though you might not be injuring your bones, what happens is when you have that impact and you brace and you're holding that energy is going to go straight through your arm or, you know, hands, whole body, whatever, And when that happens, you're more likely to tear ligaments, tendons, muscle tissue, and be in that much more pain. Versus if you just kind of let your body loose. I know it's hard because, you know, it can happen in a fraction of a second. You know, the lady that hit me, you know, there again, the police, with the amount of damage that was done to my car, said that she was probably going somewhere between 75, 85 miles an hour, you know, running a red light. When that happened, you know, I barely saw the vehicle, locked my brakes, and the next thing I remember, she's turning like 3/4 of a mile down the road. So, you know, it's just not a good thing. But, you know, be evaluated, listen to your body. If you're still in pain, you know, even MRIs aren't a tell-all. If a doctor ever tells you that they are, they're not. Sometimes even exploratory surgery is necessary, which that should always be a last resort. You always want to try the alternatives first, like physical therapy. Chiropractic can be good, but only after you've you know, been completely evaluated by X-rays, preferably MRIs or CTs, because if you have torn ligaments or tendons in your neck, especially at the base of the skull, you have what's called you probably don't care about this, what's called a transverse alar ligament. If that is torn, or strained, not necessarily torn, and you go for a chiropractic adjustment and they tear that more, and that is your second vertebrae, affects the second vertebrae, and that slips into your neck, well, you basically just, you know, you're dead. Or worst case scenario, completely paraplegic from the neck down, and you don't want that. So, you know, there's all kinds of different injuries and different things that you can do, but pain management specialists can be a good thing. The alternatives are a great way to go, but, you know, if, like in my case, surgery is necessary, it's necessary, you know, but definitely try the alternatives first. And, you know, and that can be physical therapy, pain management, which can include anything from Stericortal, which I'm not fond of, but sometimes they are necessary, injections, trigger point injections, and of course massage therapy, manual manipulation like chiropractic, and so forth, depending on the situation and, you know, what your body's been through. And if there again, if you stay in pain, and your doctor tells you that, hey, you're free to work, there's nothing wrong, go find you another doctor. It's just not, there again, it's not worth chancing it. In my case, there again, I saw between all the hospital visits and so forth, and having 2 close calls with death, and I'm not joking on that. I was hospitalized very seriously within 2 hours. If I hadn't have made it into ER, I would have been dead right before Christmas. So, and then of course my accident was back in June. But anyways, some different things to consider. Get it, you know, all the information. Definitely get your police report. And I mean, I could just go on and on things that you can do, but medically, this is the most important, and you got to listen to your body. Sometimes doctors don't know best, and you got to find a new doctor. And if you have one doctor say one thing, you're not comfortable with it, go for a second opinion. There's nothing wrong with that. So, anyways, that's all that I have for now, I guess. I'll be making more vids. Heck, I might make another one. I feel pretty good today. I got out of the house for the first time. My parents took me out to eat, which was good because, you know, when you've been bedridden for, I don't know how many days, since the 23rd of January. And so it was really good to get out of the house today. So anyways, take it easy. Peace out, and God bless.